This is BJ Flores, and you're watching Dontaesboxingnation.
Dontaesboxingnation, what's going on, guys? You know, before this fight between Donaire and Vetyeka took place, Donaire said in a pre-fight interview with HBO that he wants to once again be that pound-for-pound fighter that not only wins fights, but dominates fights and doesn't have to rely on just the left hook to bail him out of problems. So that's how Donaire envisioned this fight playing out. Now, the bad news is Donaire didn't dominate the fight like he planned on doing, and he did have to rely on his left hook to bail him out of trouble. Now, even though I feel both fighters did really good, still this fight was a very disappointing fight. It was disappointing, obviously, because the way it ended, because it was really starting to heat up when it did end. Now, surprisingly, there were a lot of headbutts in this fight. One of those headbutts caused a huge cut over Donaire's eyelid. And I understand it was a bad cut. It was in a bad spot. But what doesn't make sense to me, what I don't understand, is in the fourth round, when Donaire dropped Vetyeka with a perfect left hook, Vetyeka gets up. Donaire, he throws a barrage of punches trying to finish the fight. But Vetyeka, he weathers the storm and he comes back. Now, what's so crazy about this is once Vetyeka starts to come forward, then Donaire, he backs up and then he just walks away as if he's about to quit. Now, listen, man, I understand that Donaire was dealing with a bad cut. But when you hurt your opponent and knock him down, wouldn't you guys agree that that's probably not the best time for you to turn away, walk away from the referee and your opponent as if you're about to quit the fight? It doesn't make sense. It really doesn't make sense. And when I seen that, as soon as I seen him walk away, the first thing I thought about is the post-fight interview that he did after the Vic Darchinyan rematch. In that fight, Vic Darchinyan, he injured Donaire's cheekbone. And because of that, Donaire, he would express how he had thought about quitting and start thinking, you know, is this for him? Maybe he should just quit. Maybe this is not for him anymore, which was almost the exact same thing that Victor Ortiz said after his loss to Marcos Maidana when he quit in the ring. So I'm really starting to question Donaire's heart. I mean, you do not walk away from your opponent right after you knocked him down, right after you hurt him, and then look as if you're waiting for the doctor to possibly save you. But on a good note, when it comes to Donaire, he definitely has the type of left hook that can bail him out of a lot of trouble. We seen that tonight. That left hook possibly saved him and possibly gave him the fight. Now, Donaire, he was very disappointed with his performance, and rightfully so. No one wants to win a fight like that, okay? Now, Donaire, he's talking about he wants a rematch because there is definitely some unfinished business. But what was really funny, but it wasn't really funny if you know what I mean, is when Larry Merchant interviewed Donaire. This man, Larry Merchant, as biased as he is, he did everything that he possibly could do trying to defend Nonito Donaire. Donaire is telling Larry Merchant, I don't like my performance. That wasn't a real win. I want to give him a rematch, so on and so forth. And Larry Merchant was doing everything that he possibly could do to try to get Donaire's spirits up. I mean, he was defending Donaire to a T. It almost sounded like Donaire was in a dressing room talking to his manager or his trainer or something. That's the way Larry Merchant was talking to Donaire. When I seen that, I was just shaking my head when I think of all the other people that Larry Merchant didn't defend that way. It just goes to show you, when Larry Merchant likes you, he makes it very obvious that he really likes you. And when he doesn't like you, he makes it very obvious that he doesn't like you, right? So overall, you know, when it comes to Nonito Donaire, you know, I have mixed thoughts because I feel like Donaire, there was times when he looked good. There were spurts where he looked good in this fight, right? But yet at the same time, the way the fight ended, it was very incomplete. I thought the way Donaire walked away in the fourth round while the round was still in progress, that made Donaire look really bad. You know, he still has an uphill battle, but that left hook is very dangerous. Donaire is a very good counterpuncher. I will give him that, okay? He's a very good counterpuncher with either the left hook or the right hand. He still has the speed. He still has the power. I mean, Donaire has so much power. I'm thinking that he probably will end his career at welterweight. I truly believe. I mean, Donaire is a big featherweight. All right, he's a big featherweight. He's brought his power up pretty well, and I think Donaire, he will be competitive with these fighters. With the Nicholas Walters, who just had a sensational knockout over Vic Darchinyan, he'll be competitive with a lot of these fighters at 126. But I don't know how long he can stay at 126. He just seems like he may be even too big for 126. Okay. So hopefully we get the rematch. I mean, I really wanted to see him go on to bigger and better things, but the way this fight ended, this fight was incomplete. I mean, another reason why Donaire really wants this rematch is because Donaire, he feels guilty that he's the one that basically wanted to quit. He wanted this fight to come to an end because of his cut. Now, as far as Simpiwe Vetyeka, I was really impressed with Vetyeka. I was really impressed with him. I love the feints that he does. He was throwing some nice combinations. He was standing right in front of a guy that was much stronger than he was. And when he got knocked down, he got back up and he rallied back. In fact, once again, he had Donaire walking away from him in the middle of the ring. So that lets you know that Donaire understood that this guy was coming back stronger after being knocked down. Vetyeka was. At the time the fight was stopped, it was basically an even fight. It looked like it could have went either way. I mean, once again, Vetyeka, he recovered from the knockdown very quickly, and it was right back to a competitive fight. So we really don't know what would have happened if this fight would have continued. So, I have no problem with, there being a rematch to this fight. But we already know, even though Donaire may want a rematch, that's going to come down to the big boss, Bob Arum. So we'll see what he does. But anyway, guys, that's pretty much all I got on this one. I'm on to the next one.